happens is that these projects, this style of project is not like writing Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I don't know how many of you know that, but I did my first book signing at a bookstore, and it was really interesting because they had a special rack of like classic books, and Jonathan Livingston Seagull was prominently displayed in the rack. And I was involved with public radio a long time ago when that book was released, and had an opportunity to speak directly with Richard Bach, who wrote the book. And he said he rolled out of bed one morning, or early in the morning, because he woke up early, and he had had this dream, and that dream was Jonathan Livingston Seagull. He sat at his typewriter, because this was before word processors, and just banged it out as a little novelette, and of course it became a bestseller. I still don't know why it became a bestseller, but it became a bestseller. In contrast, something like this took many, many hours of research for each chapter of the book, and then it went through multiple edits, and I want to thank the people that were involved in editing the book. We didn't always agree, but I tended to, in the interest of having a book that was more readable, to go along with my editors. So if they said, well, we really like you to do this differently or that, generally speaking, I'll let the editors win because I'd already got my part. Nobody changed any of the grades. One of the interesting things about writing a book with this level of research is each chapter is researched and written, and they were sent one at a time to my editors, who would then send them back. And the most fascinating thing happened. The book has 21 chapters, and is that about 3/4 the way through the process, my external editor said, who wrote the early chapters? And I was shocked, because I wrote every chapter, I wrote every word. And she said because the book was so different in the early chapters than the later chapters, that she thought somebody else was helping me with the actual writing of the book. What happens is that when you write a book like this, and again, each chapter is a big project in itself. We got several students here. Each chapter is like a major term paper, like for a master's degree level of research. And so each one takes several months to write. The whole project took about 5 years, took about 4 years to put the book together. But then we had 1 year in what people call, in movies, they call it post-production. In the publishing business, it's actually the publication process. And some of you in this room have known me for a while, you know what happened. I was fortunate enough to get a real publishing contract. It's not a self-published book. That also made me not just working with my own editors, but I had to go along with the editors from the publisher. And after everything was signed and we're ready to rock and roll, and by the way, the release date of last week was set last June. And they did that on purpose because they wanted to release it in time for today, for President's Day. So that was their marketing concept from the beginning. The problem is that for most standard book publishing, it's a 1 year lead time from delivery of the book to actual release. So we actually did in 7 months what is normally done in 12 months. So we've been under a lot of time pressure, but let me tell you what the kicker was, because I think it's pretty funny. They contacted me after everything's signed and said, by the way, the book needs to be a lot shorter. Now folks, every fact statement in this book is supported with citations. So it's not just like, oh, we'll just eliminate a couple sentences here, because eliminating a couple sentences may eliminate the citation at the end of the book that goes to that sentence. And so it was a much bigger process, and I want to give credit. My sister, unfortunately, is not here today, but I have a sister who was a tremendous help in working with the publisher and helping the book come together, and she's working with libraries today to help get the book picked up for broader distribution. So it's been a very interesting path just getting to here. So